Mr. Speaker, last Thursday evening, I rose on a point of personal privilege to say that two members had directed Nazi salutes against the Prime Minister when he stood to vote. I did not name the individual members as a matter of courtesy because their gesture followed a very long day of votes. Also, I did not mention the Liberal Party by name, since I do not believe then and do not believe now that their behavior would be acceptable to members of that party, in particular its interim leader, nor indeed to any party in the House. My purpose was to comment on an utterly unacceptable incident, which I personally found to be exceptionally offensive, and to preclude it from happening again. However, after I spoke, the member from Malpeque rose to say that he had merely waved at the Prime Minister. Then on Friday, an article appeared in The Guardian in which the member stated that there were no salutes from his side and that he was peeved and insulted. He also said not naming anyone created a controversy. Furthermore, the article referred to comments in the House from the member from Barassa and the member from Richmond, Arthabaska, who said I was blaming the entire opposition by not naming the individuals. Well, I had not wanted to prolong this. The member's denial and his and other members' demands for identification of the individuals involved compel me to respond. It was, in fact, the member for Malpeque and the member for Vancouver Centre who raised their arms in a rigid position at a 45-degree angle, clearly the gesture of a Nazi salute. There was no ambiguity. When I saw it, I said disgusting in their direction several times, and they did not ask what I found so offensive. Later, when I rose on my point of privilege, the member for Vancouver Centre left the House only to return later to stand for a while behind the curtains in the corridor. Mr. Speaker, there are members in this House whose relatives fought and died for Canada in the Second World War, and others whose relatives perished in the Holocaust. Such a vile and universally condemned gesture is particularly shocking in this place of honor and tradition. The heat of partisanship never justifies a vicious personal attack that sullies the reputation of our parliamentary democracy. I had hoped the members responsible would have apologized to the House on Thursday, or at least remained silent and then apologized to me privately. That would have been the decent and smart things to do. Since this was not to be, I call on them to apologize now. Doing the honorable thing would permit us all to move on.
The honourable member from Malpeque.
Mr. Speaker, I would agree that such a salute would be, as the member said, would be vile and unacceptable in this place. I would agree with that. But I will tell you, as I said the other night, there was no such salute from me. I sat in my chair and I pointed at the Prime Minister. That is what I done, and I pointed exactly like this. It wasn't a wave, Mr. Speaker, and it was not and should not have been construed as a salute. There was no such thing happened on my part. I can't answer for others in this place, and if I would have, I certainly would have recognized that I was wrong, and I would have apologized to the member, because I agree 100%. Such a salute should not be made in this place. I accept that.
No.